Alright, what's good boys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over why your ads aren't scaling. Why you are stuck at 300 to 1k days and can't seem to get any fucking further. E-commerce isn't just a game of finding the right product and having the right landing page and the right offer. Media buying and creative output is what actually enables your product to scale. And if you don't have the right strategies and the right understanding of concepts to create creatives, you're fucked. Like, you are going to get absolutely nowhere with e-com, at least not sustainably. Especially now we're ramping up into Q4, like creative output is absolutely everything. The reach you're going to get on your campaigns at this time of year and your results is just going to be ridiculous, which means that creatives are going to fatigue often at like 3 times the rate they regularly would, just because you're reaching so many more people because the buying intent is that much higher. Therefore, if you don't have the systems in place to ensure you have creative output and a creative strategy moving forward, you're fucked. And if you don't have the right actual strategies for making the creatives themselves, you're gonna get nowhere in the first place. In the first 20 days of Q4, I'm up about 150,000 USD, which is about $250,000 New Zealand dollars, at about a 25% net average margin. It varies day to day between 20 and like upwards of 30 on an amazing day, sometimes down to like 17, 18, but yeah, already making a ridiculous amount of money, especially considering, October's great. October is what, people call it in the scene, but we are still absolutely nowhere near the peak of Q4 and the peak of buying intent. Regardless, still on track to do probably about 400,000 New Zealand dollars this month, probably about $250,000 USD. And that was with a fucking ad account issue. Like, I got insided for like 3 days, so lost all the progress there. Could probably be another sort of 20k further up the road, but it is what it is. Ecom is a game like that. Alright, so welcome to my beautiful presentation where I will take you guys from noob to Chad in terms of creative output for static ads. Obviously, there are some differences in how this is done between statics and videos, VSLs, all that sort of stuff, but the basic principles, like the marketing fundamentals that we're going to follow, apply for all. So here we go. This is you, you're a noob, you're drooling over yourself, you don't know what the fuck's going on. You are either ripping creatives from Callo or PP ads, thinking that you're somehow going to build a 7-figure brand out of it, or you're like in your first attempts at making static ads. So here is what a noob static ad looks like. As you can see, complete shit. Not eye-catching at all, provides absolutely no context, clearly like a very bottom of funnel ad, but just presenting the product in a way and the offer that makes, absolutely no sense, looks terrible, has no value, so, attached to it, essentially. The mindset behind this, as a noob, there's absolutely no thought that goes into it. Looks good to me. So yeah, this is the basic sort of creative strategy of a noob in ecom. Moving on from there, you move from the noob phase to the Chad phase. This is where you think that you are the best media buyer, the best creative strategist on earth. You hit your first 2 extremely bottom of funnel, most aware ads, statics that you made by yourself, and you think that you are now Davey Fagati. So this is you now, Chad, and this is the static you've made. Great. It looks substantially better, right? Exact same product. You've worked out that Sora exists and Nano Banana, etc. And you have presented the same offer with the same product in a way that is substantially more appealing. Like, this looks so much better. It's way more professional. It is way bolder. It's going to stop the scroll. The offer is presented in a way that is both A, professional, B, extremely bold, and C, reasonable. People forget this about offers, right? When you just throw up a 50% sale without giving it some sort of context, especially, if you're a brand new brand that no one knows, it sounds fishy as fuck, bro. Like, what are you talking about 50% off sale and on the 20th of October? That makes no sense. However, when we add some context to it, end of summer sale, start of fall sale, early Halloween sale, you're giving context and a reason for the consumers to believe that your product is actually on sale. You know what I mean? So here's the reasoning from Chad behind his ad. I'm running a bottom of funnel ad to most aware audiences, highlighting both my product in a professional and creative way and my limited time offer, exactly what we spoke about, in order to entice customers who are already susceptible to impulse buying my product. Although this looks substantially better than what we just looked at from the noob, whether you actually want to admit it or not, you are still potentially grasping the same amount of market share as the noob because you're running bottom of funnel, most aware ads. Now, that is such a small part of your total addressable market that regardless of whether you're a noob or a Chad in terms of actually making creatives, you are providing essentially no context and no value. Only people who are already well aware of what your product is, what it does, the problem it solves for them, the solutions that are already available, etc. They have to be aware of all of that for this type of ad to work, ad to convert. So although Chad has done a substantially better job of making his bottom of funnel static, as you can see, this shit looks glorious compared to this, right? So much better. Like, even if he does an amazing job, right, he's probably only going to get maybe 10 to 20% tops more market share than Noob. Okay, so that's the reality of it. So after Noob and Chad, we then have Giga Chad. Okay, this is the type of statics that Giga Chad runs that convert with another 40-50% of the total addressable market and enable Giga Chad to scale his business 5 times as far as Chad or Noob. Here we go. Now, this looks stupid as fuck. I understand watching this video right now if you're not like hyper aware of unaware ads, especially unaware statics. This is going to look really, really stupid. This is going to make absolutely no sense whatsoever. You're asking me, Blake, why does Giga Chad's ads look like shit? Why are they so insanely different? How do these convert compared to Chad's ad, which is gorgeous, and even Noob's ad, which at least provides some context? And the reason these do so well is because they are extremely native to people's feeds. When a customer who is in the unaware stage of your funnel sees one of these ads, they are far less likely to scroll because it is native to their feed. It is like they are seeing this post from a friend, a family member, or whatever. When you run static images like this, have a primary text that tells a story, take them to a pre-lander that, you know, follows through, unaware to most aware funnel, objection handling, providing value, you know, solving their problem, and essentially positioning yourself as better than other solutions, and then introducing them to your offer, you are able to make shit like this scale way harder than you are with something like this. Because this, like I mentioned, is only applicable to 10% of your market. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but only a very, very small portion of your total addressable market is going to see this ad and understand exactly what it is and what they're buying. However, you can capture the attention of people who have absolute no fucking remote clue what you're selling, who you are, what your product is, anything, simply by being engaging and being native. So this is the reasoning behind Giga Chad's creatives. I'm running extremely native statics in order to capture the attention of unaware / top of funnel audiences. I, as a Giga Chad, understand that unaware audiences are a much larger part of my total addressable market than bottom of funnel audiences are. And know that converting unaware audiences will unlock another 5x to my scale. Could be way more than that, but just a rough idea. I need to capture their attention in different ways to lead them down my funnel and convert them into customers. It's very different to a most aware type of customer. This is because they aren't immediately interested in purchasing. Instead of salesy looking ads, I am running statics that look native to their feed, as they will likely scroll past any posts that look like ads. If they are not looking to purchase your product, they're going to stroll straight past anything that looks like an ad. This mindset from Giga Chad is based on the 5 stages of awareness. This is exactly what I've been speaking about throughout the entire video. Essentially, the 5 stages of awareness is the funnel that consumers go through when they make a purchasing decision. And it is extremely important to understand who you are targeting and what awareness level they are in when you're running ads. So we'll start from unaware because we just sort of spoke about it. The average unaware customer for this product doesn't even know their clothes are wrinkled, doesn't even give a fuck. Problem aware person, my clothes are wrinkled. Low-key, I need to solve this somehow. I don't know how I'm going to solve this though. Solution aware, yeah, I know I can solve this. I know I can fix my wrinkled clothes. I know there's a few companies, etc. that sell an iron and I can probably go buy one. Product aware, I've seen these guys before. Yeah, they're good. I don't know exactly what their product is, but I'm aware that it exists. And most aware, I know that product, I want it. Low-key, I know what it does, it's good for me. I'm just waiting for the opportunity to buy it. So to have a complete and full marketing mix, you need to be incorporating any type of creative content really. But since we're talking about statics all the way through this funnel. Yes, people who are extremely talented at ecom are able to make statics that will take people from unaware to most aware. It is much harder to convert unaware audiences than most aware. We'll start with what a most aware ad looks like because we've sort of covered a few. Your average most aware ad is going to look something a little bit like this. As you can see, it is very clearly centered around the sale. This is for the customers that know they want to buy the product and are just waiting for the opportunity to buy it. You are giving them now a reason to impulse purchase it now. Yes, It does have a slight hook. There's nothing scarier than yellow teeth. It is more so a reminder of why they're buying the product and their problem in the first place. Other than that, this serves purely as a bottom of funnel static to convert most aware customers. Okay, then we got our middle funnel. This is where we are, as we spoke about, in sort of this stage, right? People are aware they have a problem, or they are aware that there's solutions to their problem, or they are aware that your product exists. So making a middle of funnel static, we need to remind people of the problem they have, position ourselves as better than our competitors, and educate people more on our product. So an ad like this, right? Problem, they have yellow teeth. Problem call out, teeth whiteners are so expensive, oh wait. So reminding them that, you know, typical teeth treatments, fucking going to Turkey, whatever, going to the dentist, getting a teeth whitener is usually hella expensive. Then we are calling out our unique selling points. We're sulfate and paraben free. Start seeing visible results and sensitivity free formulation. And then we've got a last call to action, which states in just 1 week. Just reminding people of how good our product is, positioning ourselves as better than other alternatives. This is a perfect example of a middle of funnel static. Cool, now we're gonna go to some unaware statics. Here we go. This is the dream unaware static in my opinion. It is so fucking eye-catching and like engaging. The amount of people that are gonna stop their scroll to look at this and be like, what the fuck happened here, is crazy. And you're gonna be able to engage people who otherwise, you know, whether they care to admit it or not, would scroll straight past these other ones, even if they are subconsciously somewhere aware that they need the product. What I'm gonna do now is show you guys some examples of how these would look on a Facebook ad. So you can see exactly what I mean and how essentially we're able to lay these out so that they convert. Well, so here's how the mockups look. I just did them quickly, it took me like 2 minutes. Here we have the noobs ad. As you can see, it looks fucking terrible. There is absolutely no chance anyone in their right mind, anyone that shouldn't be in a mental asylum that's clicking on this ad. It looks so unprofessional, the primary text sucks, and to be honest, like, it just looks very cheap, very unprofessional. There's just not a chance, in fact, that this actually converts. Then we have Chad's ad. Much better, like, looks substantially better, is much more appealing. However, like we mentioned before, you're still only potentially capturing the same percentage of the market as the noob. Granted, you're much more likely to do it with this, but the reality is, unless you have a full funnel, you will not scale. You need to be taking people from unaware to most aware and everything in between in order to fill out your funnel and maximize your potential when scaling. Only then, when you do that, do you become Giga Chad scaler. Now the grand reveal, we're gonna look at the unaware ad just so you guys can see exactly why these convert. Here is the Giga Chad's ad. It's gorgeous. And it will convert. As you can see, the big difference is, right, the page it's being run through, the primary text itself, even the headline, and the image are all completely native. The average unaware consumer who scrolls and comes across this is going to be substantially intrigued. My $300 premium iron caught fire during my daughter's birthday party, ... It's going to say see more. They're going to click and it's going to take them through a full story, an emotional fucking journey all the way to the bottom, where we're going to introduce slowly our product as the solution. The entire goal is to look as native as possible so that you are maximizing engagement with unaware audiences. What I'm going to do now is show you guys an example of a primary text for this product, the exact primary text that would be ran with this static, so you guys can see an example of how you take someone down the funnel with just a primary text. Usually you're going to take them to then like a pre-lander. I'd recommend either gem pages or page deck to do that, like an advertorial, listicle, whatever, before finally taking them to your product page where they're at a point where they are so much further down the funnel, they are so much more likely to convert. Cool, so here we have the Dweeb's primary text. Amazing Halloween sale. Hey guys, we have an incredible deal for you today. Our iron is the best iron you will use. It's great, so good, everyone loves it. It irons clothes really well, gets hot, has steam, looks cool. It just sucks, right? It absolutely sucks. Once again, it's cheap, it's unprofessional, it doesn't position yourself well, it doesn't solve any real problems, it is just shit. Moving on, we have the Chad's primary text. Now, for a bottom of funnel static, this is gonna work. This is a pretty solid primary text for a bottom of funnel static. Like I've mentioned 100 times in this video now, this is only going to capture the same audience that this one is. However, it will do a much better job at converting them. We've got a strong hook, which obviously just talks about the offer. Like we said, this is a very most aware hook. Reiterates a bit of urgency surrounding the offer as well. Lists some selling points, some unique selling points for the products. Then there's a problem call out. It's perfect for busy families who don't want to spend hours ironing. Reintroduces the offer, and reiterates some more urgency, provides some social proof, once again starts reiterating it, provides some more value here, and then once again more urgency, more reiterating the offer. Great primary text for a bottom of funnel ad. Now we have the Giga Chad with his unaware native static. My $300 premium iron caught fire during my daughter's birthday party. 40 people in my house, smoke alarms going off, fire department came, all because I wanted wrinkle-free shirts. I bought this expensive iron because you get what you pay for, right? Wrong. I was ironing a shirt in my bedroom, left it sitting upright on the ironing board while I answered the door, came back 3 minutes later to smoke pouring out of my room, the iron had tipped over, caught the ironing board cover on fire and was melting into my carpet. My daughter's 8th birthday party, 40 screaming kids and parents, smoke alarms blaring, I'm running in with a fire extinguisher while my wife evacuates everyone. Fire department showed up, made sure it didn't spread, lectured me about leaving irons unattended. Here's one thing, I didn't leave it on. It was supposed to auto shut off. That was literally one of the features I paid $300 for. Turns out the sensor failed. The company offered me a $50 gift card as an apology. A $50 gift card for nearly burning down my house during my daughter's birthday. Started researching safer options. Found this iron that actually has redundant safety features. Auto shut off that actually works. Tip over protection, and it's half the price. Been using it for 6 months. 0 issues, 0 fires, 0 smoke alarms. And my shirts still look great. Don't burn your house down, get the safe iron. Then we're gonna take them to the product page where we're gonna start introducing our product more, taking them down the funnel, introducing the problem it solves, why we're the better solution, educating them more on our product, and finally, towards the end of the advertorial listicle, and when we're on the product page, we're gonna introduce them to our offer, and we're gonna sell them, we're gonna convert unaware audiences, and just like that, we are Chad. We are Giga Chad, we are scaling, we are doing 5-figure days. I really hope amongst all the memes, this has been somewhat helpful to a lot of people. If you want, I can do another video with the advertorial side of stuff. Yeah, just hope this has provided some genuine value for people who are looking to go from noob to Chad to Giga Chad and scale extremely hard this Q4. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.